Here we go, guys. As you know, we had to scratch the idea of building all the gears. I tried building it here and figuring out how it worked. That's why I call it the worthless waste of time. Took all weekend and I got nowhere. We are designing this, and I decided to. There's three different parts to it. If I shut off, so this is the top dial. This is going to go on the top of our servo. This is the little box that the servo is going to sit in, and then the servo will attach to this wheel. And then if I turn this on, this is the shroud that goes over top of the whole thing. And when you rotate this 22.5 degrees, it will close or open these openings. The reason that you see some overlap is because I wanted, when this was totally closed, that there would be a little bit of room um, covering so that there wasn't as much air coming through. So, anyways, let's get started. We're going to make another one. Very first thing I'm going to do is go click save. I'm going to call this greenhouse vent. And I'm going to save it into my HSS shop. You guys can save it wherever you want. If you can't click the next button, it's because this drop down menu's happened. So if you hit this, now see how the save button shows up again. So anyways, I'll save. That's the very first thing. And then as we all know, we start with a sketch. So I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to put it on, I always like putting it on this flat plane. But you could pick any of these planes. I'm going to put it here. Okay. Once I'm here, I want to build the rectangle, the base of that shroud. So I picked 5.25, and this is inches. Sorry. So my 5.25, let's just do that quick. So this is going to be the box, and I'm going to click, and my box is built. I should actually go back real quick. In here in the document settings, my units are set to inches, just because that's how I like to think. You could have it in millimeters, but if you're following along with me, the easiest thing to do is to put it in inches. Okay, so now I'm going to go up here. I want a center point rectangle. The center of the rectangle is going to happen on the origin point, which is that one there. And I'm going to type 5.25, and you can see how it's changed in the blue there. And then I'm going to hit tab on my computer, and you can see now that it wants to control this side. Oops, let's hit this one again. 5.25. Why is that doing that? 5.25, and then I'm going to tab, type in 5.25 again. Hit enter. So I said we had a 5x5 hole, so this is going to overhang 1/8 of an inch on all the sides, and that's what's going to keep it from falling through the hole. So after that, I'm going to take a center point circle, and this circle I want to be 4.5 inches big, just like that. And then I also want, so then what I'm going to do is we're going to use this command quite a bit, offset. So I'm going to offset my circle. I want it to go inside. So when I pick dimensions here, I'm going to go negative 0.125. 125 is 1/8 of an inch. So if I hit enter, now you can see how I have a circle inside my big circle, and that is the distance between the two is 1/8 of an inch, which is what I'm going to go with as the thickness of the wall of this thing. Okay, so I'll hit finish sketch, and I'm going to E for extrude. I'm going to extrude the outside 0.125, so 1/8 of an inch. And then I hit enter, and it got rid of the rest of the sketch. I didn't really want that. So I'm going to come up here to sketches. I'm going to turn the sketch on, hitting the little eyeball so I can see it. So now I have this. It all came back, and I'm going to hit E again for extrude. You can also click it up here. Click on that inside one. I'm going to drag this one up. I have to remember what I did. I'm just going to go back to this one really quick and just take the measurement. And I want to get rid of that one and that one so I can take the measurement. Oops. Oops. Let's go from that face to this face. That tells me I am 1.3 or 1.438. Doesn't quite make sense to me. But that's what we're going to do. So E for extrude, we're going to go up 1.438. Hit enter. Okay, so this is the basis of our shroud, right? And now I'm going to hide the sketch because I don't want to see that anymore. And then I need to build the top of the shroud, the piece that that is going to have the holes in it. So I clicked, as you can see, the sketch plane is on the top. Okay. And again, I'm just going to pick some circles. So I'm going to do this one, 1 inch, enter. Then I'm going to do another one. Oops, what's going on here? Remember, if you ever run into problems, escape works really well. Yeah, so I'm also going to go up to our offset tool again. I'm going to offset this inside. Let's go 0.125, which is an eighth of an inch, and see how it moved the wrong way. So I need to put a negative sign so that it moves inside. See that? So this one moved inside. And then from there, I'm going to draw just a line. So I'm going to go from here, center point, all the way out to the edge of my circle. And then hit escape because I don't want this line tool following me. So now I'm back to a normal cursor. And then from there, we're going to rotate this line around. So I'm going to go up here to our circular pattern. It's asking for the object. I want this line. Then my center point, I'm going to click down here, and I'm going to go to the center of the circle. And then see how it's drawn 3 lines? The way I did it, I wanted to draw 16. So I had at one point done 8. And as you can see, you can have larger openings. So like a 1, 2, 3, 4. But I like the 16. It looked like it showed more stuff. So, I thought it was going to let more airflow. I could be wrong, but that's what we're going to go. So 16, and then I'm going to hit OK. So it made this nice pinwheel for us. And then I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. And then we need to extrude all of the parts we want. So I want this outside ring, this ring, all of these little ones in the middle. If you have a mouse, that would help you here. And then I'm going to just do every other one around the circle. And then I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. Oh, whoops. I have to tell it a distance. So we're going to come up 0.125. And then I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. So there you can see we've created this shroud, right? The last thing we're going to do to the shroud before we leave is I'm going to draw one more sketch on the bottom side of what we just created. And what I want is to have a little tiny ring around the inside here that rubs on the wheel. So if we come back to this sketch, I will turn everything back on so that it's all there. Then I'm going to draw a sketch, and I want it to be on this plane, and I'll slice this plane real quick. Okay, So as you can see, this bottom piece is the holder for our servo. This is the shroud that we just built and that we're building. And then this blue piece is just that wheel on the inside that sticks to the top of our servo. So if I zoom in on this one, you can see how I built this little bumper that the blade of our, I guess, fan kind of thing rubs against, just so that there's not as much friction. And I've also radiused it so that this piece that's attached to our servo really only touches in that area. So we're just going to build this little bump. While we're here, let's just take a quick measurement from the bottom of that. And let's shut this one. We're just going to go to there. Tell me what that distance is. 0.63. Oh yeah. So we made it a 32nd of an inch. Okay, perfect. So let's turn that back on. We'll go back over here. Okay, now that I'm in here, we're going to do what's called, no we're not. We're going to do this offset tool again. So offset tool, I want the outside edge of here, and this time we're going to go 0.0625. But again, it's in the wrong direction, so we're going to go negative. And then you can see how it moved that line just inside. And hit enter. So I like that, but I want to do it one more time. I might have messed this up, but that's okay. We'll do it one more time. This time I want to do negative 0.0625. But what I'm actually going to do is times 2. So that's going to let me do that. Times 2. Maybe I have to put this in brackets. 0.625. Oops. Sure. Times 2. Times isn't working. So where is the dot on this thing? Times 2. There we go. So you can't just use the X on your keyboard as the multiplication symbol. You actually have to use the little star on your keyboard if you're going to do times 2. And I'll hit enter. Okay. So there we go. We got that done. And I apologize for the what's going on out there. I'm going to finish that sketch. And then I'm going to extrude this inside piece. 0.0625. Hit enter. So now if we come look, you can see how we have that ridge built. And then the last step for this is just to fill it. And I'm going to fill it this 0.0, I can't remember, 2? Yes. See how there's still a slight flat spot on the top? I want that slight flat spot. So I'm going to hit OK. So just like that, that's our shroud done. Okay. So the next thing that I'll show you is we will make the base that the servo sits in. So there you go. That's that. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If I went too fast, slow the video down, watch multiple times. You guys can figure it out. All right.